Hello and welcome back, you lovely faces, to another video here on the channel. Yesterday we did the story on Vince McMahon and the WWF, WWE on what they've been trying to hide for the last 3 to 4 decades. Well, we're going to take a look into something else today, which, let's just say, it's a very disturbing story. Very disturbing. And I first heard this on the Vince McMahon DVD, which came out, I think it was around 2006. So this storyline is going back nearly 2 decades itself. So let's get into it. As you can see right by there, just that straight up title. WWF veteran clears up an old story about Vince McMahon wanting to do this storyline. Veteran clears up, so on an episode of his podcast, Something to Wrestle With Conrad Thompson, WWF veteran Brother Love Bruce Pritchard cleared up the old story about Vince McMahon pitching this storyline, in which either Vince himself or his son Shane would have been the kayfabe father of Stephanie McMahon's baby. We don't think there's a single person out there who actually wanted to watch anything like that, so let's be happy we never actually got to witness a storyline like this. Pritchard explained that Vince's what-if idea back then was just a joke and nobody would even consider something like that as a serious idea in a creative meeting. Yeah. Here's what Bruce said. It just didn't happen because if it did happen, it'd be a joke. He did not want to run this angle. He asked a question one time, what if he was a father? That's it. And you got that by there. But then you got this little thing by here. Again on TV, kissing on the lips or whatever. Okay. But then we got a few things. So, this first story we were looking at came out February the 11th this year. So only a couple of days ago. This story came out last month. Conflicting information on it. So Vince McMahon is always thinking of new ideas. When his daughter Stephanie was pregnant with their first child, Vince pitched that he might be the father. This storyline was shut down by Stephanie McMahon. Then Mr. McMahon asked if his son Shane could be his sister's baby daddy instead. That was also shut down. This is not a story WWE really wants getting around now. Stephanie McMahon once spoke about it in a WWE documentary, and you can watch her tell that story here. So this is what we got by here. It is only like 45 seconds.
Wanting to be the father of my baby in a storyline for TV, which again is only the second time I've ever actually said no.
Well, this little 45-second clip got copyrighted. Sorry guys, I will leave the actual tweet below so you can go and watch it for yourself. Get back to the video. Yeah, that's what happened. And this was on the documentary about Vince McMahon, which came out in 2006 on DVD. So you have that there. So straight away, that kind of contradicts what Bruce Pritchard said on the podcast, because he's like, it's only an idea, this and it didn't go anywhere. If it didn't go anywhere, why was Stephanie McMahon told about it? Why was she even asked? Then why was it, we'll do Shane instead, Why did it go that far? And, he does seem by here, during the recent episode of what we were just talking about, he changed this story around, said he threw out a what-if kind of scenario. Yeah, that's not working. Here we have, ladies and gentlemen, another interesting fact about this story. From October 17th, 2018. So we're looking now 3 years ago. Shane McMahon on the planned storyline with Stephanie McMahon, the one angle he shot down. So, obviously Shane McMahon appeared on a recent episode of the OP Radio podcast, and was asked about Vince McMahon pitching this storyline between Shane and his sister. OP recalled how former writer Bruce Pritchard was on his podcast recently, and Bruce talked about Vince wanting to do that. Opie said Bruce talked about how he stepped in and said they shouldn't do the angle. Shane replied, well, my sister thought I don't know if he would have really minded that. He joked. So it seems to be that father and son have the same kind of sense of humour. Not really funny though, is it? Shane added that he never heard of that idea, but he didn't doubt Bruce was telling the truth. Shane did recall how Vince wanted him to slap his mother on TV though, but he turned that idea down, telling Vince it was hard enough to hit him, but he couldn't ever put his hand on his own mother. The host then called Pritchard live on the air, remember now, it's 2018, to discuss the storyline. Pritchard recalled how the discussion on the idea took up a whole day of creative talks. It was during the time when Stephanie was pregnant and Vince was trying to figure out if he could work that into a storyline. It was an entire Sunday, an entire day of my life that I will never get back. I'm pretty sure in this one here, Bruce Pritchard said, no, he threw it out there and we shut it down straight away. That took a whole day. So now they're trying to keep that part under wraps, which is absolutely disgusting. So, Pritchard also added, that was also one of the things, whenever Vince would come up with crazy stuff like this, it would be like, well, who's going to let Shane know? The funny thing is, we were all on the phone going over everything and it was classic Vince. What if I was the father? Then there's this nervous laughter because no one thinks he's serious. But then it became, well, what if? Sick. Exhaust everybody. Sometimes Vince does it for his own amusement, Shane said. And when you think of it like that, it's like, what the hell is going on during Vince McMahon's mind? And obviously this rolls into the whole thing that we did yesterday with General Zod's uncle, Tom Cole. And he was like, oh, we didn't know anything of it. Now, when you put all this together, it's like, yeah, you knew, mate. You knew everything was going on. You knew exactly what you were doing because this is the type of storylines that you want to do. And this is it's just mind-blowing. But we're going to take a look back now, guys, to something that happened 5 years ago now. So this is from WWE, whatculture.com. This is the angles we'd rather forget. Number 1, McMahon, father and daughter. 5 years ago, guys. 5 years ago. When WWE released their 2-disc career retrospective on Vince McMahon, it confirmed what many fans had been thinking for years. He is that crazy. Every other entry on this list has focused on 2 superstars or personalities being asked to play the part of family members. When it comes to proposing these kind of storylines with your own real-life family, something is seriously wrong. When Stephanie McMahon was pregnant in the early noughties, you might think that Vince would want her to take a break from the business and focus on staying relaxed and healthy. Oh wait, you don't think that? Ah yes, like we mentioned, that damn crazy. Stephanie stated during an interview on the aforementioned documentary that Vince called her into his office and claimed he wanted to use her condition in storylines. He planned to announce that he was the father of Stephanie's unborn daughter, his own real-life granddaughter, and had used his genetic jackhammer on his daughter. Unsurprisingly, Stephanie was repulsed and outright refused to discuss the matter further. I don't know who would find entertainment in a storyline like that. Vince didn't stop there, though. After his own storyline advances were thwarted, he suggested that his son Shane could do it. This compromise was not met well by either Stephanie or Shane, and Vince was left to swiftly drop the idea. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have that by there, where they have literally gone on, and they're like, oh yeah, this never happened, that never happened, but they're like, right, okay then, right, no one ever talked about this, no, you got Bruce Pritchard saying, yeah, nothing happened, it was just literally, he asked a question, we shot it down. Shane said, 3 years ago, oh yeah, we didn't do anything. No one even told me about that. I don't think he's lying, but no one told me that. To Stephanie McMahon herself, stating, yes, both of them knew. They both asked me about it, and Bruce Pritchard keeps changing his story as well. So it kind of shows what type of family they are. And Stephanie's like, actually, yeah, guys, you're a little bit crazy. Go away, which is just nuts. And with everything that has gone on over the last couple of decades, and now this comes out, this kind of goes hand in hand with what General Zod's uncle Tom Cole was stating that went on. Especially when you got superstar Bill Graham, when you had Bruno, I can't remember his surname, but when they were all saying, yes, we've all seen this, we know it happens, we tried bringing this to the front, and this happened. It just sucks that this is actually going on and no one's doing anything about it. Because this just proves they are that type of people. And they knew exactly what was going on. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates. And I'll see each and every one of you soon.